am I messing with my hair? Because I don't have a camera. In an average day of life, most of us start the day by waking up, taking a shit, and getting out of bed. In doing so, we move forward to start our day. A simple task that would make our day much harder without. What if the V we know and love from Night City was simply unable to move normally, and forced to moonwalk their way across Night City? Can you beat Cyberpunk 2077 by only moving backwards? Originally, when this was recommended, I did it for BioShock, as in my mind, Cyberpunk is such a fast-paced game that I didn't really think there'd be much of a challenge, as well as being able to abuse the fact that I'm not restricted weapon-wise, and being able to do big damage from such a long distance. But hey, let's give it a go regardless. And with enough stalling, we start how any run starts. We pick my difficulty of choice, pick Corpo, my beloved, and with not wanting to make Michael Jackson from YouTube being a little weird if he's in the tags or description, and no real way to make SpongeBob, we instead hit random until we get a funny character. I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. I don't know what it is about this guy, but he's got it, you know what I mean? He's just got that look about him. I really like him. And randomize just a little bit more until I find a guy who looks like his entire life is walking backwards. And since I got my fill of blades in the last video, start building towards my backup build. Starter points going into body tech and cool, as Mr. Backwards can finally start his day with reverse breakfast. And a nice talk with wacky gels. And with the run started, and no real way to unbind controls, I simply changed W, A, and D into keys my fingers ain't reaching for. So now here's me mashing W, A, S, D. I don't know how much of that you can hear. We only have S to our name. It's a nice time to remind you that this run is streamed live on Twitch and YouTube. But I not only use Twitch and Blue Sky to announce my streams, but I will also be sending messages when my videos go live. So follow where you like to stay posted on uploads. And hey, I might post a giggle every now and again. Who knows? As we start our journey of backwards proportions, you can now type, haha, you failed because elevator go up, or something. Get wrecked by my need for charging. Yeah, sorry, Frank, I gotta put in my charger. I like to have my phone on my charger when I'm streaming. So that when I'm done streaming. Listen, Frank, I'm explaining the situation to you. You gotta be patient. And with my place of work, thankfully backwards accessible, I get to see I'm not the only one slacking off. I mean, who needs 8 hours for 4 emails and a meeting? My boss is nice enough to give me some fake work, that of reading some paperwork while at lunch, and like any good worker, I take the company jet and hang out with Wacky at Hooters. But unfortunately, my boss's boss finds out about our slacking, and I lose company jet privileges. And after trying early retirement for 2 days before running out of money, me and Jackie decide to resort to crimes. Get to show how easy this will be just from the schlep movement. If you aren't aware, if you push the dodge button and jump right after, you can carry your momentum to car driving speeds. But if movement is fine, what about stealth? Even as someone who throws his legs back, my arms can still thrust themselves forward to wrap around someone's neck lovingly, and help people with the long-lasting sleep. Basically being a bootleg Mr. Sandman. And with my hours of doing just the intro, this section is so easy, the only person close to killing me is me. I almost died immediately. And with my pistol primed to send people to the not alive places, we can shimmy on to let Jackie have his fun. See the dangers of being the camera person once you've run out of batteries, but I give her just enough charge so she can be the final girl for the next horror movie, and give her the much worse fate of getting a sequel that has no love or care put into it. Thankfully, Jackie decided to drive us home, dealing with the drive like we are in lore-accurate Bakersfield, before backing up into bed, getting told we not only have a job, but Victor might have a fix. So I try, oh so hard to drive us, but find I drive worse than... Man, this joke is so open-ended, I just won't finish it. As due to how driving works in Cyberpunk, if I only drove backwards, I can't really get anywhere. As no matter where my camera faces, the cars have tank controls. But thankfully, this quest can be done by simply backwards long jumping to Vix. I think cars can have a little sidewalk as a treat. Get reminded that I can use all the cyberware I want, become literally me as I refuse to make eye contact while talking business. But the job is to get the soul chip from Arasaka. To do that, we need a spider bot from the red light district, and for more info on the heist, need to talk to the woman hiring us who doesn't at all look like the woman on screen. So we start with what should be a simple meeting, but believe it or not, while the bot is ours, the boss man asks for a double payment. And after he makes the mistake of turning his back on the backwards man, I show him my backwards hand. And kill him. I don't need to move from my spot to send his lackeys to Bulletsville, and even get the reward of my first of many tech weapons. With things going... Hello, Daffy Duck. With things going so well, it's hard to see what could really stop me. Uh-oh. Huh. Thankfully, with a box of crates nearby, I can jump and vault without technically moving forward. Whew, that was close. And with the boss taken care of, his little lackeys can't stop me with my new power-packed pint-piece pistol, as well as the way I can carry momentum of going backwards so fast that I can still move my camera with no issue. So with each enemy put in the dirt, me and Jackie get the bot out easy, but I still have more work to do before I can even be allowed to work, as it's back to Hooters to talk to the boss lady. Evelyn will let me take a sneak peek thanks to the tech wizard Judy. It also lets me explore what it's like to walk forward, and get to experience what it's like to be treated as someone who can walk normally.
You look like a cut of fuckable meat.
So after being a bit happier with my backwards problem, the brain dance is easy enough to go through backwards, getting the info of what we're after is kept. So with my old ways still haunting me, I inform Dex, and Jackie and I go to drink our pre-heist sorrows away. And after a despawned sip, we speak the specifics, get to enjoy some out-of-context Lars. Yeah, but Pinky, those aren't mutually exclusive. You don't have to like anime. It's like saying, oh, you own a gun, you must know how to use it. Like, no, I can be stupid and own a gun. It's great. We thankfully get driven to the heist location, but oh no, we aren't allowed our weapons inside. But thankfully, being a backwards locker doesn't bar me from entry. And despite my issue, I'm still the best person to give the spider what he wants. Which gives us the time to head to the top room, and after a quick Rocker Boy output apartment, I collect a weapon for emergencies, which shouldn't be a problem as long as nothing bad happens. And then something bad happens. As long as a second problem doesn't occur, we should be uh-oh. I slide into this spot with just the F button, before the real issue becomes a problem. Son Arasaka got caught at a Coldplay concert, and to keep his job, he takes out Mr. Arasaka, which is bad for me, as now the alarms are blaring, making it hard to leave. But at least we have T-Bug, who could... Alright, well things are getting a little bad, but hopefully nothing else stops us here from... Oh, wire. Sorry, ongoing joke with pancakes. So in Lars Burrito fashion, despite the fact that no you cannot, we push on to see what else would stop us. And escaping Konpeki is next on that list. Yorinobu's gun is rather easy to use for building clearing activities, allowing me to get us to the elevator, and I also clear the mech, because I feel like it. And since I'm not the driver, escaping and getting rid of the spying drones is also quite easy. Jackie tried to help me one last time by giving me the chip. I accidentally respond with "you too" before my boss does the least expected thing, and replaces me with AI, accidentally also firing me from life. But hey, Piper sunk. Right before dying of not being alive, I have a weird dream of being a backwards man, one with a not so backwards hand. My dream involves me being the man I always looked up to, my hero, Johnny Backwards Man, one who was kind to no one. But he wasn't the only backwards one. Another guy he worked with who, when told to, and I quote, make it rain, would only let out a light drizzle. But Johnny can make it rain. See the downside of having too much melatonin for dinner. What the fuck was that? Did you see that? But I enjoy the rest of my dream. Heather. Demolitron, hacking, unreliable narrator, before the man in my dreams goes night-night. And I wake up to my 9 to 5 in my streamer-style bedroom, where we have another unforeseen issue. No. Life isn't fair. So with Fail 2 ruining my day, get to see what Nintendo is forcing the FBI to do to people who try to conserve old media. Before I'm taking in a slow drive with Takamura, which turns into a rough drive with Takamura. But to keep it nice for me, he drives backwards. I shoot my PNG gun, and see the newest bug has dropped. Whoa, when did that get a frickin' thing on it? What the hell? But for my help, I'm given a free ride to the doctor, who tells me the bad news. I can't walk forward. I think we knew that one, Vic. And thanks to the link with Johnny Backwards Hand, it's gonna stay like that forever. Even worse is when I wake up and try and get away from this new voice in my head, he slaps away my daily multivitamin and tells me to stick some meat in my mouth.
Stick some iron in your mouth.
And even worse, slaps me in the face and forces me to do some crawling. Oh, you. Cutscene 3 forces me to take my SpongeBob me boy Fido. I hate my writing. I hate it so much. I'm trolling myself. I'm rage baiting myself. But I can at least get some tech weapon perks. For fun, of course. But it's time for breakfast with Takamura. And if you replay this game as much as I do, to make this section a bit more skippable, if you save and reload that save, you can actually skip this section. Thanks Fury CEO and his community for finding this out. Do I sound tired? I am tired. I am tired. I am tired, just so we're clear. I don't know if I sound tired. Leave it in the description below. Leave a comment if I sound tired. Also, comment your favorite protein. But also, for your viewing pleasure, this section tells us that Takamura is desperate for our help. But thanks to his love, and also being a now former worker with Arasaka, it might be a good idea to help and work with him. So he gives me 2 leads to follow. Johnny tries to get on my good side, but I have a more important talk lined up. Well, howdy. Oh my goodness, your arms glow rainbows? Holy shit. You could have had a better outfit for that specifically, but I'm not a big fan of the sand. Like, you get docked a point because those sandals do not fit this outfit. I give this like a nice 7 out of 10 right here. Maybe an 8 out of 10. I can't because I'm not a big fan of the shoes. 7 out of 10. I think that's a fair rating. I think it's a fair rating. I was about to turn around to walk, but I can't do that, so. And after said important talk, we need to talk to Judy on where we can find Evelyn, as well as talking to Grandma Sparkle if she was cool, to find the chip's creator, Andrews Hellman. But basically, he's given the smallest amount of security. So much so, a merc who is known for failing is the only one who can help take them down. So I let that marinate and make my way to Lizzie's first. Not only for another one of my favorite tech weapons, but also for conversation with Angry Hispanic, which doesn't get my backwards blood pumping, but at least gives me a lead on where I can find Evelyn. So it's on to hopping backwards almost faster than Lightning McQueen, which drives me more to want to fix this issue, but I at least have all the brain rot I'll need, but this also makes me remember that clouds will take my weapons once I enter. But there is one cool thing we can do. Make our way to the suspected organized crime in Arroyo, as clearing it is not only not that difficult, but once you clear them with either explosions, shooties, or ball smushers of your choice, you get the crafting spec for the Comrade's Hammer. So if you get enough components to craft said quote-unquote hammer, you can talk to Miss Cloud Lady, and when you deposit your weapons and enter, you can still craft the weapon inside. And boom, broken weapon against the really weak enemies. And with one of my favorite weapons of all time, it's easy enough to remove all the enemy's limbs from their body, and make my way to the man who runs this place. And we can easily talk to him, or better yet, search his laptop ourselves, and find out Evelyn was dumped at a ripper named Toes. Jump for joy after doing something ourselves, before we make our way out, in the same dismembering way as we entered. Johnny and I talk about blah 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 burn corpos, behead corpos, drown corpos, cut corpo break lines, make corpos watch brain rot, and whatnot, but right now it's time to head to the ripper. Find out that Judy is also here, find my favorite bug that stayed since launch, and after getting information from Fingers after accidentally falling on him, we find out people who took Evelyn have a weird OnlyFans, and get to experience my favorite story beat of Cyberpunk. That thanks to cold pizza and hot coffee, we find out the exact location of where Evelyn is. But before going on to complete the mission, I get some double jump legs, because it's the best option, and ascend Evistan, because I want it, before it's back to the backwards trail. But folks, what did I miss? You missed me walking backwards a lot, in fact. And I can now backwards double jump into the power plant, to get a good spot for raining pain upon those who oppose me. And thanks to my new legs, keeping my distance in areas open like this are as easy as eating a second donut after you said you were gonna just have one. And with the first floor easy enough to deal with, I can not only get a few more levels for extra healing, but show that the only real problem tends to be navigating backwards, as my explosive duo of body disintegrating methods of getting my way make clearing the rest of this little scav haunt and saving Evelyn a breeze to do fast enough to keep Judy happy. Hey Johnny. Hear a line that makes less sense as a backwards walker.
What's there to wait for? Didn't go through hell and back just to stand in front of a door.
Before, thanks to Judy, Evelyn has some more BDs for me that can help me find my boss's boss, and get the reward of not only no more BDs this run, but my favorite line in the whole game.
Just find us
I mean that Juju Wirehead, okay? Alright, racist, fuck. Damn. Can you believe he said that, guys? What the hell? So with more waiting in my other paths, it's time to look into finding Hellman. Jumping my way over to Pan Am Palmer, try oh so hard to make sure our dump trucks don't touch, and find out Pan Am can help me. Only if I help her first. She needs help getting her car and shipment back, as her clan won't lend her any troops. But they can give us a box, so I place it in Pan Am's trunk, and it turns out to be of use, as once we find out the meeting point is as dead as my soul after any ad read, we can bring it back to life. Just like my soul getting brought back to life, drinking gamer subs and saving 10% off by using code LB. And we can do the section that never made much sense to me. We want to get the drop on the Reffens by turning on the lights and giving ourselves away. So I do it not stealthy as always, beating the brakes off of everyone's ass so we can get Pan Am's car back, and even though it's optional, I also go and help her for a vengeance kick. The surprisingly most difficult section so far, which isn't saying much, as it's another explosively deathless section, and the only notable difficult section, as you could guess, is navigating while pretty much blind. I thought I was still on the staircase. Well, I used this in Devastate in the perfect way possible. But I can at least pull myself up by my least favorite Balatro Joker, and get my third favorite tech weapon. Widow make air. Pan Am can deliver her psycho drugs, and I can be the first sober man to struggle to his bar stool. And we can get a very well-deserved set of sleep, like very soon to be divorced parents. But we have one last job to do together, as we plan to take over the power plant ourselves. And since she drives for most of this section, I shoot on the rails, find the newest way to die. I didn't know you could do that. That's good to learn and know and learn and stuff. So we turn the place to 11 and make this Corpo Dildo ours to fuck Hellman, where we can watch what I was told would happen if I didn't eat my vegetables. Before I find out another settlement needs my help. Before it's blasting time, and I blast all over the place to make sure we can save what's left of this settlement. My range makes my inability to walk forward not that bad of a problem, so I can thankfully save Mitch very easily with my safest and totally legal quote-unquote pistol. Before it's time to back up into getting Hellman. Kinda get lost from my lack of vision, but I not only get a call from my homie, Takemura, my man!
My main squeeze.
I at least get more time with chat. He hates Pan Am because she got mad he cheated with Smasher. I hate Pan Am because she's just an unlikable character who happens to have a big bottom. Therefore, everyone's like, hubba hubba, biggest booty, oh my goodness. Look at this, I can hold it with 2 hands. Like, congratulations, bro. I'm so happy for you. Oh, the first time I've heard Pan Am slander. Pan Am slander summons itself after you've played this game enough. Once you play this game enough and you actually have to like deal with a certain amount of characters for a certain amount of time over and over again, you realize things that they do and things that they don't do. I'll also show this glitch I like to use, which will probably be the last time I use it. But basically, if you run for your life like a small little goblin and make your way to Hellman's room, all of the enemies just randomly died from failing to do their jobs. Excuse me. Alright, thank you and good night. But it makes this section way too easy. And they're dead. But for now, I tell Hellman he's under new management, tell Takamura we can share, fix a problem. Oh yeah, sorry I forgot. And I get the reward of talking to someone who has little to no value, as he not only has no way to save me, and all he can offer me is a set of blueprints. To figure it out my damn self, Johnny gets me to study up on the Corpo list, while Takamura gets his turn. But after finding out the list won't count as extra credit, and right after, get to meet up with Takamura's friend, who also can't and really doesn't want to help us at all. But a little backwards of him, as he also helps us on accident, as there is a parade, and with my past Corpo Springs being able to get pulled, get information on how we can talk to Miss Arasaka if we were to do things smart. Before me and Takamura do a quick split, so I can find my boss's boss, but first, deal with my boss's boss's brother, who thinks he's in charge. I need to deal with the only thing that can revive my stream chat.
To learn where the camionette come from.
Communat! But much like the last quest to get Hellman, this quest also has a dirty little secret that I most likely won't do again after this. But you can beat the boss and get the needed info without even touching the camionette, as you can speedrun to the boss room, have a little trouble actually dealing with her as insert blowout back joke here, as she regains health if her back is intact. And due to the hacking time limit, her health needs to reach 0 quickly, and despite the trouble dealing with the leapfrog who stays only face to face, her back healing is gone, and very soon after, her health also quickly makes it to the left side of her health bar, meaning that she's dead. So once she go boom, we can then just back up into the movie, so we can then meet Netwatch back to face, before my gun meets him barrel to corpse. And I can let Placide do what he needs, but also get sent to the sleepy zone. And after waking up a little extra angy, I can ask, what the heck? Before my boss's boss says if I want their help, I'll need to do another thing for them. I agree as I don't really have a choice, before getting more Johnny memories. Of him having almost noteworthy sex powers, see how good of a guy he was. Could also see the time when he got from behind, and he became a true backwards man, as he hired friends to help save his lady, and in backwards fashion, kills the person he came to save. But her death is very helpful to me, as maybe perhaps she could easily help me, but that means the voodoo boys are voodoo liars, and I deal with liars the way the founding fathers intended, with the addition of cool laser guns. And outside of a close call on my way to Pickle, oh, heal button. Placide becomes Dunzo. We can use him for his one and only purpose in life, which is to give me a cool jacket. So with that done, I get rightfully cursed out by Johnny.
That's it. Had enough Johnny today. Got shit to take care of. See you pop back in your box, genie.
Fuck you, V.
And pray to the shrine to summon a call from Takamura, which took about an hour and a half, live on stream. Takamura, please, for the love of everything that is holy, call me. Where I proceeded to go crazy. Man, climbing in this game is pretty fucking fun. Oh, he still didn't call me. It's unreliable Takamura guy. If you guys ever wonder why Lars Burrito doesn't upload a lot of Cyberpunk these days, it's this. It's this right here. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? CDPR, please. I know you got a patch coming out. Add a fix to this. Be able to just force calls by calling them IMO. It should just be if I have on my journal set out to wait for Takamura's call and I wait 24 hours, it should just give me the call. It's obvious I'm waiting for it. I'm not going to do anything until I get it. It honestly felt like having the hiccups. Everyone in chat has a way to cure the issue. Reload the game, wait 24 hours, die, travel the Badlands, quote unquote drive the Badlands, complete gigs. Before the hiccups just kind of go away when they feel like it. Oh, there you are, buddy! And when it was all said and done, still end up getting rage baited by an NPC.
Do not make me wait.
Oh yeah? Yeah, buddy? Yeah? Do not make me wait. I want to break TOS so fucking bad right now, you have no idea. So with my arms folded after a lore-accurate crash out, Takamura has a plan to inform Hanako what actually happened to her father. After he scouts this storage facility, I'll make my way in. Does Lars make good burritos? I'm sorry to disappoint you. I make good, quesadillas as I sneak in uncharacteristically well. Not even for someone walking backwards, but as Lars Burrito himself. Like I almost get caught once, but outside of that, I do the whole thing stealthy as I meant to, even with the backwards walking limitations. So I get told excellent work, because I for once did excellent work, and while talking about being a square, I don't get drunk, I don't get high, hey, how you doing? You doing good? Yeah. I don't get drunk, I don't get high. It's back to the grind, and on to the parade. It's easy to slide over here. I'm tasked with taking out 3 snipers. The first one, easy. The second 2 stuck behind this super tall ladder. They must have known I was coming. But thanks to my double jumping lifestyle, I can easily climb adjacent to the ladder. Ladders are for pussies. Let's get that fucking straight. So with the only part of the problem out of the way, we skate by, easily dealing with traps and sniper number 2. Which gets me a cool new sniper. Find out you can actually walk on the floats. I always find something new. Love this game. Before the last sniper basically ends himself. So I get to the net runner with no glitches. Hopefully it's a... And with the net unplugged, we have another issue. Or rather, we usually do. But Oda seemed to never dodge my tech weapons. And even with me only moving backward, I can simply outspeed him with not only dodges, but double jumps as well. And eventually, I stop towing with Oda, fully lock in with my max damage, and clear him out easily. Spare Miss Takamura had still done good by me, and now that we can not talk with Hanako as she's been shot, we now need to meet with him again, but at least after a little Easter egg. Hi. Hey, yo, can I get an autograph? Hey, can I get an autograph? Can I get an autograph? Before getting to the worst place to leave a Hanako, as she's found instantly. And thanks to double jump, I could easily save Takamura. Hey Takamura. Hey Takamura. How's it hanging? Everything going well up here? Hey, I don't know if you got my phone call. But I didn't get yours, so I'm gonna get back out of here. Getting out is as easy as most things have been so far, before it's down to Loserville. Before we get a message from Hanako. She needs our help to tell the truth of what her brother has done. And while I'd love to help Johnny, or hell, even Pan Am, both quest lines are going to require me to drive at least once. Something I'm just not capable of, meaning I either side with Arasaka or put a gun in my mouth. Johnny tried really hard to make me side with him, but that hurts my head so much that I ended up in the hospital. At least getting my trick-or-treat starter kit and tell Johnny, sorry man, I want to fight Atom Smasher. And with the worthless Hellman finally getting a positive KD, I carry like it's ranked and start to clear out the soldiers who aren't with Hanako. A nice open area that allows me to properly paint the floors and walls, so much so that I pick up the package of Hanako, Hellman picks up the package of us, Hanako picks up the package of her dead dad, and her brother tries to kill us. Keyword tries, as we are kinda just better than his weak guards. I even get weak guards of my own to help me, and I mean, they try, and it's hard to put in as much effort as me, even with my backwards fighting style, before seemingly the last set of guards can get put into the dirtless floor. We have one last boss to fight. Smasher. The easiest boss in the game. I don't know how. Maybe it's just the Dark Souls effect. I remember barely being able to beat Smasher at one point, and the more I play the game, the easier it is to take care of him, and exploit his many weaknesses. It's like growing up, but as someone who's as grown as he's ever gonna get, it's all about sharpening the skills that you've gained and consistently being consistent. And just seeing how far you've come. Or maybe the Comrade's Hammer is just really good, who knows. I do a 360 no-scope for the boys back home. I can make sure all the hairs are unharmed for Hanako, and Johnny can tell me he's disappointed. My post-Cyberpunk depression can be started, and as always, Johnny's right. As after the epilogue is started, because of the tests, we get one more slap in the face. Uh-oh.
Please connect to the device.
Uh-oh. Well, here's the thing. Fuck. So is that 4? Is that 5? I'm forced to fail 2 more times. Yeah, number 5, I get it. Not too upset as I could just sewer slide, but still. I'm told that I could either give myself to Arasaka and get my life back together, or walk backwards for the rest of my life. I make the worst choice, and prove very easily that no, you cannot beat Cyberpunk 2077 by only moving backwards. Man, I know I had a lore-accurate crash out, but I really do love this game. I know I did complain for 2 hours when Takamura refused to call me and didn't let me progress, but I love this game. Thank you so much for watching, and show your support however you see fit. Also, I've started a member system. There isn't much a reward for doing it, so only do it if you're interested. And not as always,